But our big debate, the Congress is intensifying its push for reservations in the private sector, with Rahul Gandhi championing a caste census to justify quotas for SC, ST and OBC communities. Now, this is a huge debate in the country. It could transform the work environment for millions, and it could impact students as well, particularly if elite institutions like the IITs and the IIMs are involved. Let's listen in to what Rahul Gandhi had to say before we start this debate.
We have put enough pressure on the government to get the caste census done. We want a date by when it's done. We are going to put pressure on the government to make sure that 50% cap is destroyed. And after that, there is a third thing, which is the Article 15(5), which is reservation in private educational institutions. It is already a law. We want that law to be implemented as soon as possible.
Well, joining us now, Dr. Ajoy Kumar of the Congress Party, R.P. Singh of the BJP, Dr. Milind Kamble, Founder Director of the DICCI, Poona Mutreja, Executive Director of the Population Foundation of India, and Sunil Alag, a Senior Business Consultant. Thank you all very much for being with us. Dr. Ajoy Kumar, just as an example, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, the chairperson of Biocon, cautioned, in fact, last year, that Karnataka's proposed quota bill, which had sort of suggested something like this, could jeopardize its position as a tech hub. There are those who say that quotas will make India's private sector uncompetitive globally because firms compete based on the best resources within budget constraints, and that's not going to change. Isn't that a big danger?
No, the issue is, I think Swasni Ali correctly said, women's character, Dalits' merit, and Muslims' patriotism. Permanently, you keep asking this question. So I want to ask you a very simple thing. Mr. Murmu was the CAG of India. He was a tribal. Okay, some of the leading civil servants or doctors or engineers have come from different backgrounds. The question again is, where is the game? Now you tell me, let me flag a couple of things. With all respect, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw is somebody who I respect immensely. The Bharatiya Janata Party kept saying that they want to do a caste census. Now we have forgotten that totally. Has anybody commented on the Prime Minister saying that why is he doing the caste census and what is the objective? First point. The second point is, you have never heard a single business leader saying, they were saying that the caste census is wrong. All the business leaders, Mohandas Pai, let me name every one of them. Tejasvi Surya, the member of parliament, even the prime minister said, all right, suddenly they want to do the caste census. There is a law, okay, and Vishnu, you need to understand this. There was a law passed earlier that the private institutions will do reservation, right? You need to give me 30 seconds on this. How do you bypass the reservation system in private institutions? You make the fees so high that a meritorious scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe or OBC cannot get in. And Vishnu, I want you to step back a little and understand what I'm trying to say very carefully. What do you think is the private institutions' radiology fees which they are charging? Is it on merit? 10 crores a year? You tell me. Some rich doctor's son is paying 10 crores. That is merit for you? First point. All private institutions, as far as a post-graduation in medicine, since I'm a doctor, let me start with medicine, are charging 10 crores, 8 crores for dermatology, radiology. Is that merit? Has anybody...
No, but how is that equivalent to quotas in the private sector? What you're saying is a very valid point. It costs an immense amount for an education. These things are managed. But what is the link with what I'm talking about?
No, the link is because you don't want to understand. The link is private medical college. Is it a private institution or a government institution?
It's supposedly a private institution.
Not supposedly. Say it, yeah, it is private.
Yeah, obviously.
Please, yeah, don't indulge me with this supposedly and all.
You're not answering the question,
you're a good friend of mine. So I would request you, so spade is a spade. So a private medical college, a private institution, SRMCC, Manipal, everybody. How much are they charging? Is it on merit? 10 crores for the radiology, 8 crores for the dermatology.
But again, that doesn't answer this question.
One sec. No, coming to that. No, now I'm coming to the second part. So you don't treat the private medical colleges getting admission as not private institutions. You think only companies are private. So let us come to the companies. Okay? Let us come to the companies. What are we saying? That you think that for all these years, that you will not be able to find any meritorious students who are coming out of it. And it is a competition. I'm saying, have you given it a chance? Have you done a survey?
Okay.
Have you seen how many OBCs are there? How many OBCs are there in one side? There may be actually more than 50% OBCs.
Okay, Ajoy, you made 50 points. Now let the others also come in. I'll come back to you. RP Singh,
Not
respond.
50 points, yeah.
He says, in many respects, the system in education is unfair. People need an opportunity, and therefore perhaps quotas in the private sector are important. How would you respond? RP Singh.
First, let's understand who's talking, which party is talking. Party whose leader has been against the quota itself. Right from Pandit Nehru to Indira Gandhi to Rajiv Gandhi, they all have been against quota. Jaat pe na paat pe, more lagegi haath pe. And today they are talking about quota. And also, when did this awakening happen to Mr. Rahul Gandhi? Just recently because of elections. And it was committed by Amit Shah ji, no less than Amit Shah ji and Rajnath Singh ji both. Rajnath Singh in 2019, Amit Shah ji last year in September, if rightly remember, the 18th was September the date, when he said, yes, the caste census will happen and it will happen in 2026. हमारे हिंदी में हमारे पंजाबी में कहावत कहते हैं माँ पैदा नहीं हुई पुत कोटे कोटे. I mean, mother has not been born and the sun is on the roof. So let the caste census happen. And thereafter, everything will fall in place. What has to be done? Let the then parliament decide thereafter that.
No,
let the census happen first.
But are you in favor of quotas in the private sector, Mr. Singh? The BJP?
I said it's not me and you to decide. Let the parliament of the country that time decide.
No, but what is the
situation
BJP's position on this?
I again reiterate, let this be with the parliament, let this decision be left out to the parliament of the country. When the caste census happen in 2026, and whatever the outcome of the caste census is, keeping that in mind, let them take a call. We are just apprehending that this will happen, that will happen, or this much will be quota for this backward class or not. We don't know what is exactly the situation on ground.
Mr. Singh, that's important. You are saying that at this stage, at this juncture, the BJP hasn't ruled one way or the other on whether quotas should be there in the private sector and in educational institutions or not. That's what you're saying, am I right?
I'm saying let this be decided by the parliament, because parliament is the supreme authority who represent the people from various parts of the country, all parts of the country, and leaders from all parts of the country come and decide on the future of the country there. So let this be left to the then parliament. I mean, how do we know the situation change at that given time? What is the situation then? What is the ultimate result and the outcome of the caste census? We're just presuming.
Okay, I get the point. I get your point. Then let's wait. Sunil Alag, critics assert that private sector quotas violate constitutional principles. For example, equality and freedom of movement. And there is a basis of this in 2004. The Jharkhand High Court had halted a 75% local job quota, which petitioners argue that it breaches equality. The right to equality, it hinders the ease of doing business. It happened in Punjab as well, when the Punjab and Haryana High Court struck down a similar law in 2021 because they cited violations of constitutional morality. Therefore, when it comes to implementing this potentially in the private sector, is it easier said than done?
See, in the private sector, up to now, I have been the MD of Britannia and I've read and I've spent almost 45, 50 years in the private sector. Nobody ever thought of caste system. We never checked on any caste. We purely applied ourselves to meritocracy. So therefore, this thing which you are talking about now, whether anything will happen or not happen in the private sector has never, ever, up to now, meritocracy is it. And we've never checked on any caste system. Now, of course, there's a caste system. By 26 or something, a government policy will come out. And as the BJP, Mr. Singh has said, when the policy comes out, we will see. Because up to now, we've not. And look, IIMs and IITs, as somebody has raised, look, when you pass an exam, you pass it on nobody checks on your caste. Nobody checks on anything. What they do is, so many guys are taken on, and when they find out that, look, so much of income is lower, they provide the scholarship in IIT and IIM. In case you don't know, they provide scholarships to anyone who needs it. And therefore, up to now, caste system, nobody checked on anybody's caste. It's political. When you have a vote and you have everything, it's going on. And the Haryana department now has a caste system, and Rahul Gandhi now says there's another caste system. Now everybody's decided there's going to be a caste system. But I will say in the private sector, we never checked on anyone's caste.
Okay, got it.
Up to now, we haven't checked.
Got it.
So therefore, meritocracy, you voted, and I have been voting on.
All right,
on
so meritocracy,
all
caste
along.
hasn't been a factor. I get your point, Sunil Alag. Poonam Muthreja,
Yeah.
private sector enterprises in India, particularly tech and finance, have historically resisted government mandated quotas, talent versus quotas. In fact, many would suggest that India's economic viability, our competitive edge, which is based on talent at a certain level, might be impacted if employment in companies is given on the basis of caste. I know this argument is a two-edged sword. How would you look at that?
So why are we looking at the census data for only the purpose of reservations, affirmative action in the private sector? The first thing for us to look at is bring merit into a community where there is, whether it's scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs. If you look at wealth quintile, if you look at the access to education, health, especially if you look at Dalit women, why don't we work on bringing merit, equality, good health, sanitation, all of this to our communities and give them the opportunities where they will be able to find merit in the corporate sector will be able to hire them with merit. Maybe we need, once the census data comes out, we are likely to know even right now we have some idea, but we are going to know at a large scale how to create inclusive and evidence-based public policy, how we run our welfare schemes, reservation, whether it is reservation. Look at the state of the people. If we find that most of the people in scheduled caste, scheduled tribes are not only economically poor, but have much lower education skills, which is true, they do. We have to start investing. Let's give ourselves 10 years, 15 years to get the data right, fill the gaps.
No, I think
then go in for reservation.
Sure.
In the corporate sector.
Poonamji, you've raised a really important point.
One last point.
Yeah.
The corporate sector has a role to ensure that such a large population in India gets educated, gets access to health and other services.
Dr. Kamble, Poonamji used the word skill in one of the sentences. What are we talking about now? I mean, if we are talking about viable employment in the country, it is directly linked to the quality of education. It is directly linked to upskill and reskilling people. It is directly linked to the way you actually choose and do that, whether it is vocational training or any other form of training, which may not be a degree education at all. Why are we not upskilling millions of Indians and thinking about doing that in a much bigger way than saying that, okay, look, let's do quotas and we'll try and fix it the way we fixed other things?
There are two different things. One is a caste census for a government purpose, for the allocation of funds and central sector schemes. It's a benefit to reach out to the all sections of the society, and that is a different purpose. Okay. In a government, in a IIM, IITs, NITs and all central universities, there is a quota. Okay. I am heading one IIM. I am a chairman of IIM Jammu. We follow the all central government rules and regulation. We have 12 professors from a scheduled caste, 10 from a scheduled caste, 2 from a scheduled tribe, and all quota of a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, and PWD, all quota is filled. And our placement, 100% placement is there. पूरे corporate में वो जाते हैं सब लोग. Similarly, all 21 IIMs in the country, they follow all central government rules for admission. and the 100% placements are there. Similar like IITs and all that.
Yes.
So another thing, okay, in 2001, there was a historic judgment by Y.V. Chandrachud.
Yes.
जो अभी ये जो चंद्रचूड़ जो थे उनके फादर थे.
Yes.
उनका एक 11 जजेस बेंच का एक जजमेंट आया है कि प्राइवेट सेक्टर में रिजर्वेशन होना चाहिए इंस्टीट्यूशंस में. सो देन देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ डिबेट हुआ उसके ऊपर, फी स्ट्रक्चर कैसे रहेगा, और वो फी स्ट्रक्चर कमिटी बनेगी, एंड देन इन अ प्राइवेट सेक्टर आल्सो देयर इज अ रिजर्वेशन. ओके, what one gentleman was talking about such a fees the institution charges, that is for a management quota. Okay, that management quota is a different, and they are allowed to charge a fees because to compensate the what fee structure is suggested. तो उसके लिए वो है. तो इन बट एक चीज मैं कहूंगा कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का जो आर्टिकल 29 है
जी,
उस 29 के तहत जो बने हुए इंस्टीट्यूशंस है वहां पे कोटा नहीं है. तो वहां पे कोटा इंप्लीमेंट भी होना चाहिए. तो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट में देयर इज अ कोटा, गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन में देयर इज अ कोटा.
Ajoy, one of the concerns, and I'm reflecting, this is an industry sort of reaction. NASSCOM, again in July last year, again speaking about Karnataka's quota bill, had said that if there was a system of quotas in the private sector, it could potentially reintroduce an inspector raj where bureaucrats gain excessive control over private hiring. At the moment in the private sector, hiring is done by companies according to their requirements. Is that what we potentially want to go into? The government looking and seeing, okay, have you maintained quotas? Who are you hiring? Has this representation been done adequately or not? Where would the independence of organizations then be?
So, first of all, couple of points, Mr. RP Singh. Your national executive said we won't do caste census in 18 February 2024. Modi ji said caste census is an urban natural phenomenon. So let's get this clear that you guys have been saying it till yesterday. So no, let me complete, sir. So
no, but you aren't answering my question, Ajoy. I asked you a very pointed question.
One sec. Vishnu.
No, but Ajoy, if you don't answer my question, how do I conduct this, my friend?
No,
I have only a limited amount of time.
Okay, so no, my question was to clarify what the BJP stood. Now let me come to the private sector.
Yes.
Mr. Kamble said there's a management quota, but the private sector's fees also is unbearable for a normal scheduled caste or scheduled type. So that they're themselves eliminated by the method of fees, Dr. Kamble. So please get that clear. It's not management quota. The fees are too high. Manipal, suppose it charges 50 lakhs, no SC, ST is going to come there. The third point now which I'm saying is, let's imagine you give, once you get this data and you give the tax concession to the private sector. I wanted to clarify, Vishnu, I've been a CEO of a few companies, including Cummins Diesel Sales and Service. So I've been in the private sector, Sunil. I've run companies for many years before coming into politics. Now, the question again is very simple. If you give the private sector, suppose incentives, no corporate tax, you think they will not take people from the different communities? Merit is as long as, Vishnu, all this talk about merit. No, you tell me IIM and IIT placement, 100% placement. All of them are SC, ST people who are coming in. You don't recognize them, but they are SC, ST people who are getting in. There is merit in those students. Correct, no, Sunil? There will be merit in those students. My question again is, once you have the data, Professor Kamble is saying that we take all SC and STs, but the vacancies of SC professors in central universities in India is more than 60%. You can't get a competent professors in SC community. The central university vacancies of tribal professor is 90%. Dr. Kamble is saying we recruit, but central university 90% ST professors could you not get? Those questions will be asked, Vishnu.
All right,
So
okay, one sec.
Yeah.
I'm running out of time. Let me go to RP Singh. Mr. Singh, another way of looking at this is that quotas could drive skilled professionals to other countries, those who seek to take advantage of a system where there is meritocracy. As it is, it's difficult enough to get jobs in India, but if the number of jobs are taken away through quotas, then people might want to head outwards. We already have a brain drain problem. Could we not end up making it worse? Mr. Singh.
Well, Vishnu, now what I'm going to say is a personal level, but the merit still stays in the quota also. Quota doesn't debar the merit. There can be people who are there in the general quota, and there are people from the scheduled tribe quota, but the merit stays, the entrance test stays, or whatever the parameters of the entrance or whatever the parameters of job of the merit stays should
Merit
stay.
and quota, okay.
Give me a second. But again, I reiterate, all this has to be left for 2026 or 2027. After the complete caste census happen, and then probably we'll come to know the real picture. Why do it now? And then Ajay Kumarji, stop referring to WhatsApp University. I'm sending with the Vishnu the exact speech of the Prime Minister. I know, you can show me the WhatsApp University.
I got the Twitter of Mr.
All right,
Speaker.
okay. All right, folks, we are done with this debate, but we are going to be looking at it perhaps for years. It's going to really change a lot of things one way or the other. Thanks very much for being with us.